On 26 July 2023, India's withdrew its 8 Wushu martial art athletes contingent from the Summer World University Games in Chengdu, China. The move came in response to China's issuance of staple visa to 3 athletes from the Indian team, all of whom were from Arunachal Pradesh. China has consistently denied stamp visas to Indian citizens from Arunachal Pradesh, citing territorial dispute. Now, what are staple visas? A staple visa is an unstamped piece of paper attached to a passport with stapled or a pin. Unlike regular visas that are affixed and stamped directly on the passport, staple visas are detachable. The issuance of stapled visas is part of China's ongoing territorial dispute with India over Arunachal Pradesh. The stapled visas are considered valid by China, but India refuses to accept them as a legitimate travel document. China has been issuing staple visas to Indian citizens from Arunachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir since around 2005. The practice is a part of China's ongoing territorial dispute with India over these two states. Arunachal Pradesh is a state in northeastern India that borders China. China claims Arunachal Pradesh is as its own territory, but India has ruled the area since 1947. Jammu and Kashmir is a state in northwestern India that also borders China. China claims a portion of Jammu and Kashmir as its own territory. The Chinese government has said that it issues stapled visas to Indian citizens from these two states because it does not recognize their Indian passport. China considers Arunachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir to be part of its own territory, and it does not want to give the impression that it is granting Indian visas to citizens of these two states. In 2005, China began issuing staple visas to Indian citizens from Arunachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir. In 2011, India withdrew its athletes from World University Games in China after they had issued staple visa. In 2012, Indian Ministry of External Affairs issues a travel advisory warning Indian citizens against traveling to China on staple visas. In 2017, China allows an Indian delegation to visit Arunachal Pradesh without requiring them to obtain a visa. In 2022, India and China holds a meeting of the working mechanism of, for consultation and coordination on India-China border affairs. The two sides discuss the issues of staple visas, but no progress is made. Why China issued staple visa? First is dispute over sovereignty. China disputes India's sovereignty over Arunachal Pradesh and challenges the legitimacy of McMahon Line, the boundary between Tibet and British India, agreed upon in the Shimla Convention of 1914. The disagreement over the line of actual control or LAC lies at the heart of Chinese claims on the disputed territory and leads to repeated transgression into Indian territory. Second, the unilateral claim to Indian territory. China claims approximately 19,000 square kilometers of Arunachal Pradesh as part of its own territory, referring to it as Jangan or South Tibet in Chinese map. It issues lists of Chinese names for places in Arunachal Pradesh and periodically underlines its unilateral claims to Indian territory. Third, the undermining India's sovereignty. Issuing staple visas to Indian nationals from Arunachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir is part of China's effort to undermine India's sovereignty over these regions. China's actions are seen as attempt to challenge India's control and authority over part of its own territory. The team has held back after governments realized that the three athletes belonging to Arunachal Pradesh had been given staple visas, which denotes China's contention that the Indian state is disputed territory. An official of the Wushu Federation of India said in response to China's discriminatory action, the government decided that no Indian Wushu player should travel for the competition. Hence, even though other athletes had valid travel documents, they were not allowed to board the flight. It has came to our notice that stapled visas had been issued to some of our citizens representing the country in an international sporting event in China. This is unacceptable and we have lost a strong protest with the Chinese side reiterating our position. India reserves the right to a suitable response to this action, Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said, stressing that Indian passport holders should not be subjected to any discrimination or differential treatment due to their domiciles or ethnicity.